Hey you guys, it's Joseph David Barkus and I'm back. I'm making this video because I went to the emergency room as a targeted individual. I spoke specifically about some things going on around here, some things going on around here, some things going on around here, and I tried to speak about what happens while a human being is targeted through direct weapon energy, voice to VK skull technology. And this is the third time I've recorded. Not only there's 2 police departments in this town that I live in the state of Florida, and I clearly reported the fact that this doctor's office made me an appointment, then turned around on the day that I had the appointment and said that they had no recollection of my appointment. So if you had cancer, obviously you'd be pretty upset because that's your life, right? So I called the sheriff's department, or I called the city first, and I said, look, I want the audio from that doctor's office. I want to know why I had a doctor's appointment to treat and to see what's going on with the cancer that most likely this intelligence radiation has done to me. And they said call the other police because it's in their jurisdiction. So I called the sheriff's, and sure enough, I asked him why my life. First off, I said, if you had cancer and you had a doctor's appointment and they made an appointment for you, would you be pissed off if you called the day of, said you're running late, and they ended up saying, we don't cover your coverage and we don't have an appointment for you? I said, well, check your audio because there was an appointment made for me. So I told the deputy that, and I asked him, I said, how would you like it if you had cancer and you had an appointment to try to do something about it? And that's a life-threatening disease. Well, try to go somewhere else, try to follow up somewhere else. Well, in the meantime, I just lost. He said, well, did you go to the hospital for it? Yeah, that's where I went, the emergency room, and they don't do nothing. The same mental hospital, same hospital I went to, the same hospital that did nothing for me, that discriminates against people, that neglects people, and that is most likely probably in on this, obviously, as they took my clothes off, took pictures of me, and manipulated me there. I don't know how many times. So I said to the deputy, I said, would you be pissed off if you lost almost a week off of your life over, possibly lost that amount of time over a doctor's appointment that I wanted them to get the audio on, and I wanted them to investigate that because that's my life on the line. So for all you out there, would you be pissed off if you made a doctor's appointment and they turned around on the day of and said that they don't know what you're talking about? What would you do? Would you call the police? Well, I care about my life, and I did that. And as I did that, I specifically said, I'm a targeted individual after a traumatic train accident. And I was targeted prior to that train accident. In the train accident that I was struck by a train, you guys, if you don't remember. And it was over voice to VK skull technology, neuromonitor linking through external or synthetic. And it was done to me. And I stood in front of that train to tempt them to stop. And I moved at the last second, and it hit me. Because of the force of that train and the fact that the train was going way over the speed limit. So my family sets me up with an attorney that's actually working for Homeland Security. That's a part of this whole merry-go-round. That attorney did nothing for me. And I don't know why that attorney came into that hospital. I don't know why that attorney wanted me to sign papers fresh out of anesthesia. I don't know why that attorney won't return my phone calls, other than the fact that I found him under the Homeland Security attorneys list. What does that tell you? So, this is the third time that I have recorded the police departments in the town I live in, telling them that my life has been threatened. I've been decimated on YouTube. I've been cyberbullied, electronic harassment. My life has been threatened. And being a targeted individual, your health does deteriorate. You do suffer from intelligence radiation, and it is the most horrific thing for a human being to go through, the deputy said. Well, how do I asked him, I said, if you don't mind, can you ask the sheriff if you can take a little bit of time to sit at your desk and to look up and research what a targeted individual goes through? That's the third time I asked them, not just that one agency, so I don't want to just say that agency. There's another agency I asked them to look up and they haven't gotten back to me on it. Gee, wonder why. Anyways, so I asked him, I said, can you ask the sheriff if you can take a little bit of time to sit at your desk, to get on the computer, to research this and to find out how horrific this experience is for me, let alone all you other targeted individuals out there, not only in the United States of America, but globally. He said, well, where do I look for that? Well, you could try to look under targeted individuals to begin with. That might be a good idea. And then you could look under your fusion centers that you're involved in. And then you can look under DHS. And then you can look under InfraGard. And then you can look under the Federal Bureau of Investigations. And then you can figure it out and go around and figure out what I'm trying to say. When one of my family members worked, and the family member that worked for this agency, which was a national security agency, he didn't really care for me too much. And I think he had a problem with me. And as I try to report everything that's going on, and that's my life deteriorating, that's horrific voice to VK skull technology, that's the most horrific thing a human being could go through. I asked him, I said, do I look like a terrorist? And why am I a non-investigated subject after a traumatic train accident? And why have I left 6 to 7 voicemails for the sheriff, head of the sheriff's department, the sheriff, with the secretary, to please call me back? I have some serious things going on. No calls back. And then I called the chief of police in this town 3 or 4 times, left a message. No calls back. Now you tell me, and I specifically told you, this kind of technology has most likely infected over 500,000 Americans, and that's just through cerebral spyware, and that's through American Air Force aerospace type of technology that comes from the power grid, that comes from these satellites, that comes from electrical, wireless, everything. It can manipulate your decisions. It can change your decisions. It can manipulate your behavior, change your behavior. They want to promote crime. They want to produce crime. And a lot of these states that there's voter fraud in are a lot of the states where targeted individuals are, from what I'm understanding. So I already mentioned the fact that, from my theory, the whole election was rigged. And there were a lot of Americans that had their decision-making process manipulated. I already mentioned that due to my experience and what I've been going through. And as I believe, this is a program that's for gang stalking, and they say it's for terrorists, and it's from Homeland Security, and I find out Homeland Security's in this town, DHS, Fusion Center. I asked him real clearly, what am I doing on that after this serious accident, after I was on a walker for almost a year, and after I only seen one primary physician to be deemed disabled in the state of Florida? And I asked him real clearly, will you do the research This is one of the most disgusting times globally, yet in United States history. And I did already mention something a lot on my channel. And I did say there is a good chance that this whole election has been manipulated. And I believe it's through a lot of the states where there are a lot of targeted individuals. That means there's a lot of people that are targeted that don't know it. People that don't know it have cerebral spyware inside of their brain. And they have you inside their fusion center. They know everything about you. And for everyone who's a targeted individual, you have mental malware because of what they wanted to do to you. And that's over Great Reset, that's over population control, that's breaking human rights, that's breaking constitutional rights and civil rights. We do have civil rights, and that's our human anatomy. That's our brain, that's our body, and nobody has the right to manipulate our body. Nobody has the right to coerce our family members, our friends. Nobody has the right to change our decision, and nobody has the right to heighten or change our behavior. This is horrific, and nothing is being done about it. We will get justice. And hopefully, we'll get a president, and we'll get some people that do have ethics, that do have morals, that do have values, that will see the disgust in what's happening, not only globally, but here in the United States of America. And hopefully, we can put a stop to this horrific, white-collar, artificial, military, Cold War technology that's made for terrorists. Not the weak, not the suppressed, not the discredited. I am so upset, you guys. I am so mad. I am just so disgusted at the inability or the negligence or the pure trying to cover it up. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if they don't believe me or if they have every reason to hide what they have done or what they know. This country, and for everyone who's a targeted individual, deserves justice. And I hope that our Senate, our Department of Justice, and our legislative, all governors, tribal, local, federal, state, I hope you wake up, and I hope you do something about this. And I hope somebody does take lead of our country. And I hope they do use military sophisticated technology in the proper way. And they put policies and regulations on infrastructure and energy. And they stop these private, large corporations, investors, and soliciting donations. And I hope they put an end to the corruption inside of our government and inside of law enforcement, inside of security agencies. And I hope the President of the United States takes executive command, executive order, and walks right into the AAF and American Air Force or Aerospace and NSA, CIA, whoever it might be, and they put an end to this. There's not a dollar sign you can give any targeted individual to fix what you've done to humans. You can't replace their time, and for whatever help, I have so much going on because of this, and I refuse to allow this, especially in our country. For every crooked politician and for every single military agent, official who knows about this program and who does nothing about it, I hope you're all put where you need to be. And I hope that we have a leader that can use the military for what we need it for. And I hope he takes command and he puts an end to this sick, disgusting program. Regulations, policies, human rights, civil rights, constitutional rights. This is Saving a Life Mattered. This is Joseph David Barkis. I have put my life on the line. I have put my reputation on the line. And I do feel very uncomfortable. I feel unsafe. And I refuse to let government-induced voice-to-VK skull technology or direct weapon energy ruin my mental status. And I hope all of you out there that are targeted individuals do everything in your capacity to try to not let them steal your soul, your brain, or your mental status. Stick with my 4 elements that I've been trying to focus on, that I changed my channel to try to change and help not only myself, but anyone who's suffering as a targeted individual, who is innocent. If you're a targeted individual, make sure you are doing everything 100% correct. And from what I understand through this artificial intelligence, they can do whatever they want. That's why I'm making this YouTube video, and I'm hoping that if anything happens to me, my life, my freedom, that someone in this United States of America or the state of Florida or in my town or in this whole world stands up for me, looks after me, protects me, and hears me for what I say and what I've experienced. And we are going to get justice, you guys and ladies and gentlemen. We will. We're going to get it. This scandal will come out. This horrific Cold War technology, it will be documented. This will be an evaluated experience. It won't just be an experience. Please, you guys, let's try to unite. Let's try not to let this ruin our lives any more than it already has. And trust me, I don't even know how long this has been being done to me. But I know for a fact that I have lost so much of my health, so much time on my life, and so much of just networking, having friends, and having loved ones around me due to this. And that's horrific in itself to do this all alone. Please, you guys, hit like, hit subscribe. We are gonna get justice. And I am just holding back on first and last names just so this is done perfectly. For all you politicians out there that ran this program, that slaughtered the infrastructure and energy bills to be able to do this kind of disgusting, horrific, white-collar, Cold War type of technology, I hope all of you are put in front of the right judge and judged for what you have done to humanity, let alone animals. And as you pay attention, check out what's going on with the voting and check out the fact that I already mentioned that a while back. And people thought I wasn't competent. People thought that I was on another page or channel. I'm on the right channel. And so are you guys if you're listening. Watch. I told you I was going to make history. Didn't I? We're making history, you guys. Ladies, gentlemen, we're making history. Pay attention to what's going on out there. You report this. You report your life being threatened. You report your health being deteriorated. You report intelligence radiation. You report direct weapon energy. You stand up for yourself. And as they want to purposely choose people who can be discredited and people that already have a lot going on in their life, that is one of the most horrific things to do to a human being. And they know that. And they know real clearly why they did this, how they did this, and the reasons for this. You guys, please hit like, please hit subscribe. I want to leave my phone number and I want to leave contact information. Go to my Facebook. Go to Targeted Justice Group. I invite you to Targeted Justice under my Facebook, Joseph David Barkis. I invite you, not only from my state, not only from my country, we will do this globally. We will figure this out and we will get justice. We will put an end to this. So you guys, go to Joseph David Barkis, go to Facebook, friend me, go on my group, Targeted Justice, follow it. Let's start putting the solution out there and let's start writing up and pressing charges, filing motions, which all is going to be done. And let's stop telling these disgusting, horrific criminals what they're doing to us, and let's start doing something about it. And it starts judicially. And hopefully we get a president and some politicians that have morals, ethics, and values. This is Saving a Life Mattered. It will be Saving a Life Mattered. And I will be under Stand Strong to be Iconic on Instagram. I'm under Joseph David Barkis under Instagram. I'm under Saving a Life Mattered under Instagram. And I am starting a Targeted Justice group for justice. Please join, please like, subscribe. You guys, if anything happens to me, I put my life on the line for myself, for all of you, and my freedom. protect me as I would protect you. One love, unity. Please stay tuned. Thank you guys. Ladies.